Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel, and this marks my first video in 2019. I hope you guys had a great new year, and for today's video I am going to do a first impression on the latest products that Colour Junkie Cosmetics came out recently. If you guys are not aware, Colour Junkie is a New Zealand based brand that produces an array of eyeshadow palettes, liquid lipsticks. I think they have a beauty sponge and also false lashes. The brand recently came out with this eyeshadow palette called INSTAFAMOUS. So this is what the slip looks like, and at the back you have the color shades. And then this one is a slip packaging, and this is the actual packaging of the eyeshadow palette. Again, that's the name of the brand, and then you get the shades. There's a bit of typos in here. I get it has something to do with their production, but this eyeshadow palette does not come with a mirror. It comes in a cardboard eyeshadow palette. It comes with a film, and these are the shadows right here, and oh my god, they are so pretty. And I actually quite like the name. It's very on trend at the moment, and I love the colors at the bottom. So I am going to swatch a few of the colors, mainly the bright colors, because we want to see the color payoff. So in here we have Pineapple Crush. Ooh, that's pretty, and it feels very smooth to the touch. And then we have Hard Candy in here. Again, it's quite smooth to the touch, though it's a little bit like chalky-ish, this shade right here. But again, swatches actually tells a different story as opposed to applying on the eyes. And then for matte shades, we're gonna try this here, which is called Ice Queen. Ooh, that green. And then we'll try the transition shade, this one right here. Oh wow, and the black, because black is something that is quite hard to formulate, but that is very dark. So here are the swatches. As you can see, the yellow doesn't really show up a little bit on my skin tone, I guess because I'm on that tanner side of the spectrum. The pink is a little bit powdery, and it kind of looks chalky as well. The black is intense, so I have a good feeling that if you really pack it on, it will give you that intensity. The brown is fairly pigmented, and I think it has somewhat of a staining effect because I've already wiped the shadows, but this shade right here in particular, it kind of stained my fingers a little bit. I mean, nothing a good makeup wipe can take off. So now we are going to swatch the shimmer shades, which I am so excited about. It looks very pretty on the eyeshadow palette. I am going to swatch this shade right here called Malibu, which is a very bright, I would say this is a teal eyeshadow. Oh, look at that, it's so pigmented. And then we have Summer Splash, which is that blue shade. Ooh, it's kind of that shade where it's sheer, but it has an iridescence to it. It pulls off more of that silver-ish kind of purple shade. And this one right here called Indigo. Same with that purple shade, it has a little bit of like iridescence to it. And then I'm going to try and swatch Extra. It has a weird texture. I feel like it can work more as a eyeshadow topper because I don't know, it feels a bit chunky. And I'm going to try this one right here called Get Money, and that's very pigmented. So here are the shimmers, the blue and the purple shade. So the blue one is Summer Splash and the purple shade is called Indigo. They're more of that sheer type of eyeshadow where it has more of like a iridescence to it. I was quite right with the shade Extra because it comes off glittery and very sheer. So this would be great to use as a topper on the matte eyeshadow shades to intensify them a little bit. And then there's the Get Money, which is the shimmer. I also have the Glowing to Paradise, highlighter palette. This is what it looks like. Again, it comes with the pink slip. I actually love the packaging. And then that's the back right there with the shades. And oh my god, you guys are gonna die. This is the actual packaging. It's very hollow and I love it. It's very different. This is probably by far the most exciting palette that I've ever seen. Look how gorgeous that is. And inside, oops, it came with a plastic slip. And then these are the shades. I've already swatched the shades on my Instagram, but look at it. It looks a little bit too glittery slash too shimmery on the pan, but I promise you when you swatch it, it's so buttery, it's so soft, it glides on, and it's not chunky at all. So I'm going to swatch. And so here are them swatch. As you can see, they're more of a wet highlighter as opposed to it being glittery, and oh my gosh, it's very different. It's nothing that I've ever seen before or even touched before, and I actually quite enjoy these shades. So that's it right there, and I'm excited for it to go on my face. And yeah, so without further ado, let's hop right into the makeup tutorial. I've already primed my eyes, so what I am actually going to do is to kind of set my base with this shade right here called Mineralize. I love the fact that there is two base shades right here, and also there's a good transition shade and this one right here, and then there's like a kind of a darker brown to deepen up your transition. So we're going to pop on Mineralize. So the eyeshadow is a little bit powdery, but then again, powdery eyeshadow doesn't really bother me because it's all about the pigment, and I'll just show you. So there's a few kickbacks when I dip my eyeshadow. The transition shade that I'm going to go with is this one right here called Faux. It's more of a peachy brown. It's kind of powdery, so just be aware of that. But oh my goodness, this is so pigmented. I really want to use this purple shade on my lid, so I think what I'm going to do next is go with this shade called Hard Candy and see how we go. I'm just gonna put that just right below the crease. Again, it's very pigmented, and I am going to stamp that instead of trying to blow it out. And then I am going to go and use bubble gum, which is a little bit darker, and I am going to use the same brush and pop that more so on the outer V and just under here, and a little bit on the inner corner. Going to go back to Faux, which is this one right here, to blend because I want that shadow to peek through. And now I am going to add the yellow. I am going to pick up a slightly smaller brush and use Pineapple Crush. And I am going to stamp that just over here, just for a hint of color. I am going to go back to Hard Candy once again, which is this one right here, and stamp that once again. And to deepen up the outer V, I am going to go and use this shade right here called Daddy and place that on the outer V. I'm gonna use the same brush and I'll pop on this shade right here called Snatch, which is the dark brown, and I'll slowly tap that on the outer V. And I'm going to go back to Bubble Gum and stamp more of that in the middle part, and more Pineapple Crush, which is the yellow. I am going to actually cut the crease, and I am going to use the, what's this called, NYX Pigment Primer. And I am going to grab the shade called Indigo, which is this shade right here, with a natural bristled brush, so it will pick up a lot of the product. And I'm going to pop that where we put the primer. With the same brush, I wanted to use a little bit of this shade right here called Extra, just for the inner portion of the eye, so we have something, and blend that with the purple. For the outer V, I am going to go and use this shade again called Daddy, and I'm going to blend this to the purple. There's a little bit of fallout, just a teeny tiny bit, so just be aware of that. And for the lower lash line, I am going to start off with Hard Candy again, and I'm going to stamp that. And then I am going to pick up the Pineapple Crush, which is the yellow shade, and put that underneath. I want to use the blue shade, which is this one right here, so I am actually going to use a natural bristled brush, grab the shade and grace that along the lower lash line. It didn't really show up. This is what my eyes are looking at the moment. So for the inner corner highlight, I am going to use this shade right here called Hit Subscribe and a mixture of Extra. For the brow bone highlight, I am going to use this shade called Full Cream. And I'm just gonna quickly go off and do my mascara and lashes, and I'll be back. And oh my god, these lashes are uber dramatic. So this lashes is from Colour Junkie as well, and this is in the style Boss. I actually quite like it because even though it feels heavy, it doesn't actually feel uncomfortable at all. What we are going to try out is the highlighter. I wanted to match my eyes a little bit, so maybe I will do like a pinkish kind of highlighter. So maybe I'll mix this gold, champagne gold in here, and this sort of like pink shade. This highlighter doesn't have a fallout. The formula reminds me of the pressed Super Shock highlighter from Colourpop. It's very smooth, it's out there, it's actually quite pigmented, so we'll see how this one turns out. It looks pretty, it looks wet, it doesn't have any chunky glitter or whatsoever. In fact, it looks like it blended into my skin beautifully, though it's not extremely intense as I was hoping that it would look like, but it's pretty. So if you wanted it to pack a punch, I suggest using more of a denser brush, because like the difference between this and the nose highlight where I use my finger is massive, but all in all I actually quite like it. So what I'm going to do is to pick up this shade right here and pop that in my inner corner. So here is the final look, and to finish that off, we're going to pop on this liquid matte lipstick in the shade Biscotti. Now my lips is a little bit dry, and this is a matte liquid lipstick. It smells like vanilla syrup. It's very pigmented. And it glides on the lips very smoothly. So here is the makeup look with the eyes. I feel like the lipstick doesn't really go well with the eyes because it's kind of not balancing everything. I am going to put a little bit of a lighter lipstick on top to pop on this Girl Boss Demi Matte Lip Cream from Australis, just to tone down the cool tone lips. And I'll just blend that with my finger. Here is my final makeup look using the Colour Junkie INSTAFAMOUS eyeshadow palette. Overall, my thoughts, I actually do enjoy this eyeshadow palette. The shades in here, most of the mattes are a little bit powdery, but they're actually very blendable. As you can see on my eyes, it glided on very smoothly. It doesn't like disperse into one huge mess. Like, I find that tapping it and kind of swiping it works well, and everything showed up pretty good. The shimmers, however, I'm kind of having a little bit of difficulty, like especially this shade right here, which swatches beautifully, but when it comes to packing it on, it's kind of hard to pack on. So I guess a little bit of primer would do the trick. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with this palette. I can't wait to play with more of the eyeshadows, maybe create a mixture of a natural makeup look and a bolder makeup look like this. The highlighting palette is amazing. The packaging is great. The formula of this is pretty interesting. It doesn't have much of a fall off. It has more of a wet finish, but all in all, they're very pretty. You could even use these shades right here as an eyeshadow. The liquid lipstick is very matte. It's very pigmented, so if you're into that kind of lipstick, this is a good product to try. This is $15. Unfortunately, I have sunburnt lips at the moment, so I can't really use any mattifying liquid lipstick. I'm more into a gloss. The eyelashes, oh my god, I cannot wait to try other styles because it's very bold, it's very out there, but then again, it doesn't feel uncomfortable or it doesn't feel irritating on the eyes. I really enjoy these new products. Once again, Colour Junkie did not disappoint. There's a little bit of misses. It doesn't really stop me from using these palettes. I do hope you guys enjoyed this first impression. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye!